Alright, so these dollar store stackable planters have been out for a few years now, and I actually haven't been able to find them. Till this year, picked up a couple, figured I'd give them a try. They don't seem like the highest quality, not that I was expecting much from the dollar store. They're a little bit more than $1. I think they were $1.25 a piece. The material on them, the plastic, seems to be thin enough that probably won't last much more than a season or two. I think that the UV rays are going to beat them up pretty bad, but we're going to give them a try. I picked up a 6-pack of mature strawberry plants. We're going to plant them up here real quick. Going to add some freshly sifted compost to the base, give them some extra nutrients. So it is a 6-pack that I bought. You may be thinking, well, you got 9 spots there. What are you doing? Well, my idea here is to not completely fill the thing and to leave room for some runners to come out. Strawberry plants are self-propagating. Once they're mature and they're looking to grow some more, what they're going to do is send out just little, they call them runners. It's just a little vine with a little baby plant already attached to it. And with that, my plan is to just kind of tuck them on into the open spots in these pots. Now, these aren't totally root bound, but what I'm doing is just breaking up the roots at the bottom, maybe messing the sides up a little bit. If you don't do that and the roots are already kind of swirling around, they'll have a tendency to stick to that shape and just kind of keep on swirling around in a circle. Break them up a bit and they'll go down into the soil a little bit further. So, like I said, I'm gonna leave some space here, and I will get actually a couple runners starting here now. So once these start growing, I'll just set them right down in the dirt there, and they've got some space to go. Got the compost in there for nutrients, but I'm going to add a nice layer of potting mix just because there's going to be less likelihood of seeds in there. I'm trying to grow more strawberries and not weeds. So we use that as our base. Not sure how this is going to work out. May not be the best setup, but we'll see how it goes. If it works out, I can always add more because these are stackable. I've seen some people taking a whole stack of them and putting like a rod or a PVC pipe through the top, through the center. I'm trying to run it down for support. I'm not planning on making this a giant stack, so I figure we'll just go with what we got here. Thinking I might even just leave the 6th one and put that somewhere else. There you go. Looks a little cramped over here, but as they're starting to reach for the light, the plant should start going out that way a little bit. Like I said, here's a couple little runners starting, and as they come up and start to put some leaves out and some roots, they'll drop in on their own, but you can always help them and just kind of tuck them in when they're ready. But right here I can plop 2 down, or if I wanted to, I got the longer one here, I can just drop it in there, start a new plant. Let's see how she does. So one more note, when you're buying strawberries, you're going to want to look for whatever's going to work best for you. There's a couple different varieties. These are Ozark Beauties, and these are everbearing. So whenever conditions are good for them, whenever the weather is warm enough and they're getting enough sun, they'll just start producing. There's also June bearing, which, like it says, will generally bear in June. I picked the everbearing while they're said to have a slightly less sweet taste than the June bearing. That's okay, because ones you get at the store, to be totally honest, a lot of times don't really have a lot of flavor anyway. So my goal here is production, with the idea of sending out runners and propagating more. I've got this in a nice little handy mobile pot that I can then have outside while the weather's beautiful, and as it gets a little bit cooler, I can bring it in the greenhouse and keep them going through the winter. I just pulled a couple of these guys off. They're not huge, but I've got a couple little strawberries already from my other everbearing plant that, like many of the plants around here, has been neglected. But the idea would be that when I get the new aquaponics system set up, I can take some of them runners off and start putting them into little net cups, and I can run them down a grow tower, and the fish waste will feed them, and all winter long, hopefully, if they're getting enough light, should be able to get strawberries. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.